we're gonna try to get open secrets on, see if we can get the audio to work. If not, it's okay, but we're gonna try. Alrighty, I'm here, seeing if we can hear you now.
Testing. Can you hear me?
Okay, I hear you. I hear you good. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you guys hear me though? Because I have the curse with audio.
Okay, nope. I think we're good now. What's
Good.
up? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Oh, this we're doing really good. This is like one of the coolest, biggest chats I've had.
Is
So I'm
it?
happy for it. Yeah, it's a good one.
Aw, I'm just so proud of you guys and hearing Who's Your Bruiser. And you guys are just doing such great work. I haven't really been on the scene. I've had a lot going on, but I've tuned in here and there. For this newest information, and then I just jump on the lives, but I've missed all you guys. I was in YouTube jail.
Oh no, YouTube jail.
Yeah, that's such a thing. For a week I just got out.
I never even, yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. Congratulations, happy you're out.
Oh, thanks.
Uh, yeah, so you got, I just when you mentioned that you would be interested or willing to interview DP if you had the chance, that made me pretty happy. That would be cool to see.
Yeah, I definitely was thinking I'll reach out. I have with other gentlemen that have been named publicly, just and I really think that the 99% of the people that are innocent will be embraced by the true crime community, and I think I can speak for all of us. It's we're all learning, and this is a new world we live in here in the digital world, right? But at least I encourage him. I've left messages with the McCain family and with there's a professor that was named, and the mayor said he would come on, and a lot of these gentlemen are willing to speak, but understandably, I understand if they don't want to. I feel like they'll be embraced. You know what I mean? Unless,
Definitely.
like the bridge guy, then we'll catch him. So I dare him if he thinks he's that smart to come on Open Secrets.
Yeah, I bet he is the type of guy who is. And if that's the case, I hope you already have interviewed him. I hope that's the case, because then he's locked up.
Somebody had, I mean, law enforcement claims that they've interviewed the bridge guy, or they think they have, or someone close to him. I mean, that's a pretty significant statement. Stepping,
Yeah,
I mean, that kind of goes to they probably do have somebody in mind.
that's true. Also, the thing about the I heard that voice before, or whatever Tobe said.
Yeah. Well, right. Yeah. I know that the officers have said so much. I went back and gotten, clips of these little different things that law enforcement slipped up saying or whatever. But I, I feel like in there, Doug Carter intended to tell the public that they had probably interviewed him or someone close to him in that 2019 press conference. So that was information we know that was accurate because they had it in their script, right?
Right, yeah,
You'd
they
think
did.
he knew he was rehearsed and had written what he needed to say, don't you think? The April 2019 press conference.
Yeah, it seemed like they were careful with what they were saying, so it was meant.
Oh, yeah, it was a
Yeah.
state. They wanted it to be. Oh, that's so creepy. I just don't see them scaring their local community by saying he could be in this room unless that was actually the case. Does that make sense? Unless they have no idea who it is and that, they decided to shift investigation. Um,
Yeah,
and they don't know and they're just, you know what I mean? Hail Mary. But I feel like that would be, they knew they were going to say that. That was very dramatic. That's what got all the press. That he could be in that room. I just don't know that they would scare the public if I know some people say like it's Thomas Bruce. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't think it's Thomas Bruce, only because when I think of people of interest, or I like have to be able to put them at least in Delphi that day or that week or whatever. And with
Right.
Thomas Bruce, people, all they have to say is that his like family member is on the way or something. Delphi's on the way to his family members, so
Yeah, right.
yeah.
I wonder, do you think that the change in strategy is because they do have a feeling they know who it is? Although, even here, I mean, I've watched the True Crime Garage series and then I've listened to you, Graz, while I'm cleaning and stuff, on this new theory. And it's interesting, to say the least, but I don't know. I just don't know that they would come out and scare everybody if they didn't know he was around during that press conference somewhere close by.
Yeah, I remember I said something
Right? That they could be
right.
in the same room as him. Oh,
I remember like hearing something or saying something like that, and somebody told me, well, maybe it's just generally meaning maybe he's watching. But to
right.
that, I was like, yeah, but at the same time, they're literally saying in this room, and that's kind of freaky, kind of weird.
It's definitely, yeah, something I feel like we could dive into more, because think about how disturbing that would have to be for the girls' families, that they could, I don't think they would say it unless it was true, but it could just be that they don't know and the FBI is pretty certain it is somebody blending in Delphi.
Yeah, and even not telling them like they were gonna release the sketch until right before that, that must have been heavy too.
Right. Yeah. I think
Do,
that, I mean, that's a lot of pressure for Doug Carter and the investigation to shift with a new sketch and say, he could be in this room, but we know he's local. He's local. So that's putting all the eyes back on local. You know what I mean? I don't know. Gosh, it's
yeah.
interesting now that I was thinking about it. But I think
No,
they know who it is. I think that because there's not a DNA sample, which is just pure luck on that monster's fall, I think that they might be having a hard time putting him at the crime scene, and being able to prove that element in a court of law. Because that's why they probably urge human intelligence, that they need somebody to come forward that, is close to him. Because, I mean, if there was some mistakes made in the investigation or contamination and there wasn't much DNA, how could they really prove? Especially, I don't know. You know what I mean?
that's it. That gets me the most because just in the situation that one of my POIs that keeps coming in my head is that Paul Eder guy,
Yeah.
and I think to myself, I'm like, what if they can't place him there? Do they even have the evidence enough to rule him out? Type of thing. Like I think about that.
For sure. And I mean, I honestly, he was one of the more interesting ones. I think that this case proves there is a lot of creeps. There's a lot of sadistic monsters in community. I mean, because Chadwell, Kurtz, Bruce, all of these Eder, they've done horrible things, and it's all, it's crazy. But I feel like the girls have been kicking ass because I mean, subsequently, didn't Libby and Abby, leaving this clue, end up solving April Tinsley's murder? Or do I have that wrong? Didn't the Delphi investigation uncover that?
Hmm. I'm not. I know what you're talking about. I don't know if. I'm sure someone in the chat will know. I know that somebody got caught for that and they went to prison because of the. I'm not sure if it was him, but I. Someone should say it if it was.
Yeah.
And you're right. It put the microscope on Indiana. There's so much freaks out there.
It's not just
So many.
that just plays into what's going on all over our country. The drugs, I mean, our country's been subverted right before our eyes. I mean, we all know, we see what's happening. It's
It,
it's scary. We gotta, in locally, my advice is to put as much time, effort, and energy into your local community and government, because that's about, the only way. I feel like when people get left behind in this drug epidemic, I mean, this meth, there's so much murder I'm hearing about and reading about correlated with meth use. I mean, and then
Yeah.
the pornography, gosh, I mean, I think it's having a bigger impact than we have noticed. I think we're going to look back as a society and realize, you know, we were setting our young boys up for failure with just like there's violent pornography. And what is this teaching our young boys that are just going through puberty and they can have access to that at a click of a button?
Right. Teaches them too young, or well, at any age, to mix violence and love is it just
And they're
among other things.
right, their sexual development doesn't have the aspect of another human and consent and, I feel like it's and then the drug use and the abuse a lot of these kids we see with Garrett. I mean, he was like a normal kid by all American standards, but he just had the perfect storm of stuff, you know. It's sad. It makes me wonder, if our system's just rigged against us. But I feel like Libby and Abby have solved other crimes while we've all been searching
Mm.
for their justice, and maybe God has a bigger plan.
That is
I think
really
it's
a great way to look at things. Imagine how much awareness that this case has brought to others.
oh yeah, and I know that there has been some things solved and some bad guys. And wasn't Libby a true crime aficionado?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
she's kicking ass.
I agree.
Those,
Still, yep, she's not past tense. Yep, you
yeah,
got it.
a lot of people think it won't be solved. I do. I think the key is that whoever is in the close relationship with the bridge guy has maybe because they went a different investigative way, they didn't say anything for 2 years, maybe went in denial, and now it's just they don't feel like they have to come forward. I think somebody knows. I think they watch. And if the killer's out there and not incarcerated, he's here. He's watching right now. Don't ever second guess that, guys. I mean, in this world, and you kind of see what's going on in the Summer Wells case. You know that they're tuned in, right? So this guy's
Yeah.
amongst
Oh
us.
yeah.
We have to assume that until the law enforcement announces an arrest.
Yeah. I I gotta ask you a question because you brought up good points on how this affects the big picture and like not just Delphi or Indiana but the whole country. When when you started your channel, did you ever plan on branching away from Delphi or only doing Delphi? Like how do you look at the big picture so good? Like do you have to see the bigger picture around things, I guess, to not get tunnel visioned to one certain thing?
Spiritual awakening, maybe. I I don't know. I don't know. I think that's probably it. I had an ego death.
Yeah,
I
those
don't know
are
if you know
bad.
that, but I just I feel like there is a lot we can do. I try to look at the positive aspect because there's the trolling and the false accusation and the defamation of names. But there is a good side to this. And I think the true crime community is interested in learning how to better go forward. I don't think people actually want to do harm, right? But we've never had the ability to talk with someone across the country instantaneously, let alone all of us collectively. I think there's a ton of power and potential in the true crime community. So that's kind
Me
of
too.
what, on my channel, if it's an open secret, I'd like to cover it, although I get censored. And I have one strike away and my channel will be deleted. Think about that,
Oh
guys.
my God.
What are they hiding? Why are they suppressing information? It's just wild.
Right.
And it's dissenting views, but I'm just
And
saying.
I've seen your content. I don't get why they would do that. Really. The only thing that rings in my head is maybe it's just I don't even see other political stuff get censored like that. So why would they do that?
What do you
Is
mean?
it just is it because you do politics sometimes or what?
Well,
Like they
okay.
decide to censor you, like it's kind of messed up.
Okay, so have you ever I don't know if I want to go here right now, but it's because I'm a conservative. Conservatives
Okay.
have been completely purged off YouTube, Graz. I mean, I'm not kidding. I was demonetized the second I covered news, the same exact news that legacy media was reporting on post election.
Huh.
Not
Yeah, I
crazy,
didn't know that.
so yeah, I had to self censor my channel. And I've been on TikTok though, if anyone wants to follow.
Is
No,
it just at Open Secrets?
yeah, yeah.
Sweet.
And maybe you'll get a better idea for what I'd like to do if YouTube was, you didn't have to self censor as a conservative on YouTube. That's what I would like to do. I'd like to start a bigger conversation. I think that's what can speak to a lot of the issues in our society. There's no connection between humans, It's almost by design, but together everyone brings, I don't know. I think everybody together is helping solve this murder, and maybe we can learn how to get more organized because the truth is there are missing children and adults and murders and unsolved, every day in every state, and we maybe if we covered it more local, like statewide, it could help. But there's so many. It would be nice to have a little show just to go over the new unsolved cases or missing people each week. There's a lot that needs to be done. That's why I've encouraged other people to follow their intuition and start a YouTube, whatever is their niche. Everybody has something to contribute. You
Yep,
know,
I
and
agree.
there's a lot that needs to be done in every aspect. So find what you're passionate about, and I suggest it. It's a good way to connect too.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And especially with everybody going, if everybody just works together, it'll be so much easier and better. And I think that one thing that you said too is like we're learning. Like I've come to accept that like I'm learning and mistakes are gonna happen. You just gotta try to learn and remaining teachable. But a lot of these, I think the key might be for some people to try to be more teachable because, like you said, the ego death. My ego is still here, but it's definitely got curved a lot. And if it was any bigger, I probably wouldn't be able to be on YouTube. But
Well, I
you
feel
know,
like I had a near death experience and it changed me like so big. So I have other bigger stuff going on in life. So I do, because I think there's a lot of miscommunication. So I think I'm just gonna say this with Mr. Hughes, who has contributed a lot to this and other true crime cases. Um, I think there's miscommunication constantly online and chat, and it's just the nature of this type of communication, right? People are jumping in and they're scrolling through different videos, clicking, and they'll write a comment. It's not. I think most of it's misunderstanding. I think if he stepped back, or if he could like recognize there's a little bit of the way someone writes things. I don't know.
yeah, no, I definitely see what you're saying. And
People might not watch him without the entertainment of him humiliating people. You know,
right,
I hate to say it, but I'll listen to him when I'm getting ready or something, when it's Delphi or whatever,
yeah, same here.
because he's got,
And
but I don't know. Is it entertainment? I don't know. I think he's been doing a little better too. I think that, yeah, at least he
yeah,
tried. And he
I
does his,
definitely do.
I do want to say though that it is intimidating as a creator in the true crime community. And Gray does intimidate you because if he says one thing, your channel will stop. I mean, it has been a line that I've walked. I never fit in with the freak family. I don't know. I feel like maybe they need to change their group name, but maybe I'm too freakish, but I'm just one of the ones that doesn't fit in but still hangs around in chats and stuff. Like, I just
Yeah,
whatever. It's kind of like a love-hate thing, but um
same. There's something about his channel that makes me want to type in there. Like I'm like, hey, what's up, y'all? What's
yeah,
up?
right.
Yeah,
It is
some.
entertainment. It brings a little bit of entertainment. I hate that it is at other people's cost, but I think that maybe does he not recognize he has a lot of power and influence and can, you know, I wouldn't have said this if I hadn't been over 4,000 subscribers now on, you know what I'm saying? So like I had to walk a line as a creator, and I think it could possibly discourage other people from reporting on this. I think it has discouraged other people, even larger networks, from reporting. And the thing is the more eyes that see this case, the better the chance it is that it's solved. Somebody's going to know. You know, it might just be someone on the other end of the country that hasn't seen him since high school. Someone will know who that is and that voice. And I think I get worried that other people aren't going to engage or listen, and they'll click off and go to the next case because maybe they're bullied or they feel bullied, right? In a chat as a viewer. I think what Gray's doing is great. The money he gives to charity. I worry that it could be like stunting the reach of the case. You know what I mean? I think we've all been a little discouraged by him before, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
Big,
that's what it is. And part of me is like you see every day all the trolls that do go at him, and maybe like
yeah,
the misunderstanding and stuff is of him looking at somebody and thinking they're a troll when they might not be, and then like
right.
me it hurt my feelings, but I'm like I I have an ego, so I was like fuck that, fuck, all this stuff, but
I
I
feel
don't have any grudges.
just not anything like it used to be. I think that Libby and Abby, if they were here, they would say, "Guys, all right, enough." Like they're gonna put their fists down, stop fighting.
Yeah.
This is our enemy. I don't care if you like or hate each other. Eye on the ball, you know. I think that
Yes.
those girls are set an example for us. And what's the quote? I probably will botch it. But while we try to teach our children all about life, our children teach us what life is all about. I think that's an
Mm.
interesting, you know, way to
Yeah.
look at Libby and Abby, because those girls are brave and strong. And I
Just
just,
apply that. Yeah.
yeah, I think,
Um, we
I,
got a. Sorry to interrupt. We
no,
got a question. I think we were over it at the beginning, but I don't think I remember. I heard you. Do you? What do you think like might be the blackout? Like, I hope that people know something. Like, I hope that they have somebody. But
my intuition, and this is all that is, so take it as it with a grain of salt. My intuition tells me that um, they might have someone in mind, and it could be Kurtz, it could be who knows who it could be, someone local. But I think that's what that says, is that no, we're not answering anymore. It is interesting the timing, sort of, although I had a local journalist for a newspaper in Indiana. um, I had him on my channel. He reached out to law enforcement after the interviews, and they wouldn't. They said the same thing. Basically, they said public for the media now. And Sheriff Lesenby stopped returning my phone calls after he connected that I interviewed Garrett. He did call me back the first couple of times, but I think they can't rule anybody out, and maybe without DNA, they have to be really careful not to do that, in case, just so when they find the guy, I don't know. I think the media blackout. I don't think it's I think when they say that, they mean they're just not going to comment, right?
that's what it seems like. And yeah, like, but like they never really did in the first place. So that's why I was confused. But yes, they're just saying they're not going to talk about people of interest anymore.
So Doug Carter, or Superintendent Doug Carter, pardon me, said that one day, this was the first interview he did after the April 2019 press conference. So there was 2 weeks blackout then, right? Which is interesting because the family found out about the new direction of the investigation that morning, they tell us, before the press conference. So then they released this. Let's ask this question. Why would they not want anybody in the media, all those people they just summoned there for a press conference, why would they not want them to reach out to the family or to anybody? I wonder why.
Right.
That's interesting.
That's a good question. I'd like to know why.
I'm
Hmm.
just trying to think, but I feel like he said at that interview, I forget what network it was on, but that one day he will be able to explain to us all why it is he couldn't tell us certain things along the way, and he looks forward to one
Yeah.
day um, explaining that. Or that's obviously not verbatim, but so it seemed to me like he was trying to give everybody the hint, like, you know, we're onto something. So things change. I can't tell you why, right? But one day it'll make sense. But
Right. I do remember that. I can't wait to see that too when he gets caught and Doug Carter finally does say
oh yeah,
what the hell was going on.
we have to think. Everyone just do a little meditation that the killer's caught. You can go to my channel. I have a visualization thing on there and pretend like have the feeling that the wish is fulfilled in this God, that you wake up and come on YouTube and you see that this motherfucker is arrested. Excuse my French, sorry.
Oh, you're
um,
good. I
how would you
agree.
feel, you know, and then give gratitude and maybe we can manifest it together. I really feel like it's close.
Right. Me too. I do too. I still think this year, even though there's a few more months left, I think so. There's a chance.
I think there's more hope. No, I think the hope, I just pray for the BG's family because they're in a tough position. They know turning him in after all this time, it wasn't as if they were actively hiding the information in the first couple of years from the investigators. Maybe it's something they realized in hindsight after the 2019 press conference. Um, and maybe they know if they turn him in that he'll be put to death, you know, the death penalty. I, I don't know. That would be an interesting theory if BG is already incarcerated. But I do think that
Mm,
the law
yeah.
enforcement should come out and offer immunity to whoever this person is, this one piece that has this one piece of information. Um, because I do think certain people are terrified to get wrapped up like Ron Logan was, which is also interesting. I mean, we have to say it is interesting that Ron Logan, you know, they went as far to, you know what I mean, put that man in solitary confinement. I think that in a lot of, there was what, 27 other criminal complaints that came out of the initial Delphi sweep, but not for the girls, other crimes that were solved. I think
Damn.
that people got scared to talk, but I think they should offer immunity to somebody that either knows, maybe picked him up, maybe, who knows, if he was a drug user, whoever his drug dealer is. These drug users, they talk to their drug dealers every day, you know, especially if they're
Yeah.
heavy users. Maybe someone was making a drug deal in that area and can't talk because maybe they still sell drugs and that's their income. But maybe they sold this guy his fix that day if he's a local drug user, right? Somebody
Yeah.
knows if they offered immunity. I don't know.
Yeah. And, yeah, man. It was so good to talk to you finally, Open Secrets.
Yeah. I haven't been able to see chat, guys, but I just want to say hi to everybody. I miss you guys. I never go live because of my audio, but now that I'm out of YouTube jail, maybe I will. I'm going to let you guys go so you can get over to, is it, who's yours live?
Oh, after True Crime Jesus' video.
After Jesus. Alrighty. Awesome. That's a great way to close. Thanks for letting me call in, Graz. Keep
Oh,
up the
you bet. I hope we can talk some other time too. It was really nice.
Absolutely.
All
All
right,
right,
have a good one.
buddy.
Alrighty. Well, that was awesome. Haven't had a chance to talk with Open Secrets yet. That was just super cool.